G'day guys and girls, this is Pixel, and today I've got a super duper exciting video for you all. Now, about a month ago, I uploaded a video along the lines of something like, you won't believe what happened to me, and it was basically like a Rocket League storytime video. A few in the comments actually likened it to Neat Mike's very old storytime singles video, and I suppose the series is a little bit like that. There'll be gameplay in the background that I've already recorded, so you guys can watch that, and today I'm going to be talking about my old job, the truth about my old job, because I wasn't always a full-time YouTuber. I was actually doing YouTube whilst I was in school, and then whilst I had this job. A lot of you do know what that job was, and then if you didn't, the thumbnail probably gave it away. But basically, I finished school in June of 2016 and had no money. I literally had zero money because I never had a job before. I never needed one. I never needed money. I never bought anything. I do just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video and of the channel, Logo.com, because without them, I'd probably be back at a job like the one I'm going to be talking about in this video. But on a serious note, it really does help support the channel. And be sure to use discount code PIXEL if you go over there and tweet me proof or Instagram me proof, so you'll be entered in the Rocket League giveaway for the month of July. You can check out their keys, crates, items, anything you like. I'm going to play a sponsored intro, then I'm going to get in and talk about my job on the channel in depth, which I don't think I've really done. There's definitely going to be some stories from McDonald's that I've got for you all that you wouldn't have heard of. One of them is actually kind of creepy, and I didn't realize how creepy at the time it was, but it's actually a little bit messed up. So I'm going to play the intro, then we're going to get in. Leave a like if you want to see more story time type Rocket League videos, because you really enjoyed the first one more than I thought you would, which is what inspired me to do this one. So let me know. You guys need to go and check out the sponsors of this video, Lolga.com. They sell gift cards for cheaper than they actually are if you use my discount code PIXEL at checkout for 6% off. Say you want a $50 gift card, go to the checkout, use my code, and you can get it for cheaper than $50. If you want to buy V-Bucks on Fortnite, keys on Rocket League, or much more, then you can go and do that using the link in the description. Lolga is not affiliated with any game that I'm playing or showing on the channel, but they're really supporting me, and I hope you go show them some love. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of the video. So the first job I was going to go for was McDonald's, because it is a good starting job. I finished my final A-level exam, so I did my final bit of school, and to this day I haven't been to school in that sort of setting since. I finished my final exam, the media exam, in the morning, and then I had my interview for McDonald's in the afternoon. And basically I had to get a job because I didn't have any money, and I was going to take a gap year. I was going to go to university in 2017. Back in 2015, I'd already been approved and accepted for my place to do film and cinematography. So I was going to do McDonald's for a year, but in my head, I was telling myself, because I've been doing YouTube for years by this point, this is my last chance to go full force and really make it work, because I don't really know the logistics of doing YouTube at university. I know it's possible, but in a gaming sense, I don't know. So I had to make it work in this gap year, but I worked at McDonald's for a lot of it. So yeah, it looks like the whole university thing didn't work out. Now, obviously, one of the main things that comes with a job, and one thing that can actually make or break your job and your time at a place like McDonald's, is the people that you work with. You know, there was a lot of great people there. I did have some good times, and there were the people you'd go in, you'd see them, you think, yes, this is going to be a good shift. There was always this one guy called Liam, and he was just like the life of the party. He didn't take himself too seriously. He'd muck about a lot, to be honest, but he was a good dude. And when I'd walk into the kitchen and see that I'd be working with him, I knew it was going to be a good day. Then vice versa, there were other people where not so much. Because I was at McDonald's full time. Now, Liam and all the other people that were my age tended to be working on the Sunday when I was working on the Sunday. But as I was full time at McDonald's, I was doing a lot of Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, the midweek days where basically everyone working there was there full time for the foreseeable future. I feel like I was the only one in there with any sort of career aspirations, and I'm sure that doesn't surprise you to hear that. One of my crew trainers actually said that I'd never be a YouTuber, because they all found out eventually that I did YouTube, and one of them said I wouldn't be a YouTuber. Haha! Yes! So yeah, like I said anyway, a lot of the people that you work with are great, and they're a good time, and they do make the job a lot better. But then, of course, you have managers, and some of the managers I really liked, some of them were really up for a laugh, but then there was the main manager, where she didn't laugh much. Obviously, she was human, she laughed, but not a lot. She was very strict, and the shifts were worse when she was working, because she just put a downer on things. But one story I have about this in particular manager, now I'm not going to say a name of this manager or really allude to who it is, because of the nature of the story. I've moved past it, but looking back, it was a bit weird, and I sort of lightheartedly told my family after I left the job, and they were like, that's not right. That's not good. So basically, she was going around the kitchen with a clipboard, I believe, and she was checking out everyone's uniforms. And as you saw in the thumbnail, I had the grey shirt, I had my little map badge. You get trousers, smart shoes or good shoes for the job, you know, and a belt. And basically, for some reason, instead of walking up to me or just saying from across the kitchen or whatever, hey Matt, just doing a quick uniform check, do you have your belt on? That would have been great. I could have said yes, here it is. She walks up behind me, gets her 2 fingers like this, puts them down the back of my trousers, obviously only the length of her fingers, you know, she's not going like hand into my boxers or anything, but still fingers, like down the back of my trousers. Thank goodness I was wearing tight boxers, by the way, because if I wasn't, her hand would have gone straight down my boxers. That's so weird. What the heck? So yeah, she puts her 2 fingers in the back of my trousers and pulls them back a bit, as if that checks that there's a belt there. It's so weird. So yeah, just put her fingers on the back of my trousers and pulled it up, even though my shirt was tucked in, so you could see I had a belt. Obviously, there's no way she's going at that from the front because I was wearing an apron. Oh my goodness, that would have been awkward. Imagine just going by the front. But yeah, she came up behind me where the bit of my belt was showing. And instead of just looking and seeing that there's a belt, or as I said, asking if I was wearing a belt, hands down the trousers, these 2 fingers, to pull it back a bit and get a closer look. Like, what? That's so weird. That's so weird. It was the lady that did my interview as well. Strange. There was another guy I worked with called Reese, I believe, and he always had a fight with a customer. I was in the break room at this time, and I didn't really eat McDonald's when I was there. I was quite a fitness freak back in the day. I just got my retainer off as well. Well, my braces off, so I had a retainer. So I always wore my retainer to work, so I wasn't tempted to eat the bad food, and it worked really, really well. And I was just chilling in the break room, and Reese comes in, and he's absolutely raging. He is raging, and it turns out he almost had a fight with this customer, and you won't believe what it was about. It was about Yeezys. Okay, so Reese was one of these guys. I guess you could call him a hype beast. He loved his Yeezys. He loved his trainers. He always worked the front desk. And he saw that this guy was wearing some shoes that looked like Yeezys. And he basically said, oh man, are they Yeezys? And the customer's like, yeah, they are. He's like, oh, can I get a look at them? He looks at them. The customer's like, all right, I guess so. He looks at them and goes, nah, they're fake. And obviously him being this hype beast, obsessed with trainers kind of guy, he probably does know his stuff, and they probably were fake. And the guy refused it. He was like, no, they're not fake, they're real. And they started arguing. And Reese, he didn't back down and just say, all right, whatever. As someone who was passionate about these shoes, he would just keep saying that they were fake. And apparently he like squared up to him, and but obviously that was then diffused. The situation was diffused because obviously you don't want to fight someone about a pair of Yeezys, and he did get disciplined for it, so a little bit awkward. There were other stories of people literally getting fired from that McDonald's for stealing money from the till, which is pretty horrible. There was another story of a girl apparently who worked there. She basically was forced to get the job by her daddy, you know, her rich dad, and she could only get her massive amount of pocket money if she got a job. So she wasn't working at McDonald's for the money, she was working at McDonald's to do a job to then get lots of money for free from her parents. But she wouldn't go in the kitchen, she wouldn't touch anything dirty, she had to be on the till, and I'm pretty sure she wore gloves as well. I tell you get all different kinds of people at McDonald's. You get a lot of smart people as well, particularly people that are like doing their A-levels or working part-time perhaps with university, but then you get the people that are like 30 years old, they've been there for 10 years, and it's like, you sure you don't want to go anywhere else with this? Like really? The next part of the video, I want to go over briefly my worst day at McDonald's, because some days are great. As I said, great might be a bit of an overstatement, but some days are really, really bad. Then after I've just spoke about that, I'll tell you what it was like to leave the job, what the manager said, all that stuff. I get there at 6:30 a.m. sharp for my start, and I'm, I'm excited to go into the kitchen. By this point, I've been working there for about 4 weeks, I think, so I get how things are done, or at least the things I've done, I do them very well. I'm not at the point where I'm expanding to do loads of other things. I've sort of been doing the same thing for the first few weeks, and I now feel confident at it. I go into the kitchen, and I'm ready to start making the breakfast. You know the McDonald's breakfast, the sausage patties? My job. I'm flipping them, I'm doing all that stuff, and you don't actually flip the sausage patties. It's been a while. You break them up, you put them on the grill, down, clean, double clean, done. That's how you do it. So after you scrape the gunk off, the sausage gunk from the grill, you then get this almost like a windscreen wiper type thing, but like a handheld one, and you move all the grease out as well as just the lumps. And I was cleaning the top bit, and on the way down, this part of my hand got burnt, and it's like slightly darker than it used to be because of where it got burnt. I genuinely went into that job thinking I was too clever or just not gonna get burnt. I got burnt a lot, and yeah, I got burnt on the top bit where I was cleaning down. It was really, really sore, and so I had to keep like putting these sausage patties on the grill with this burning finger, and it's obviously really sensitive to heat, and then I burn it again. Same place, I burn it again. I've also got another burn mark on this finger from McDonald's. So with 2 burns at this point, I'm like, nah, I need to take a break. I need to go wash my hands, put it under cold water for a bit, and yeah, wrong place, wrong time. I was at the sink. I wasn't at a particular station at that point, so I was the one chosen to do the trash walk, which is basically where you walk around the car park, empty all the bins, clean up the rubbish from the floor. It's a big car park, and it took me 2 hours to do that because I wasn't told that there was a cart you can take around with you that has like portable bins on it, so you can just like pick it up and put it in the bin. So I went around with a bag, picking stuff up, putting it in the bag, and it just took a long time. And as well as that, I also had 2 encounters with a seagull where I had to wrestle it away from the bag. I didn't touch the seagull, luckily. I don't want to get this twisted, but basically I left a bag by the bin. It was half full, so I thought, okay, I'll leave it there for now, and maybe I can put some extra rubbish in that at the end. I go to another bin, I look back, and the seagull's head is in the bag, so I have to go over there, shoo it away, tie up the bag, we're all good. I go away again to the other bins. I look back, that same seagull has come back, pecked a hole in the bag, and is just going to town. It's as if when the bag's initially tied up, they don't know what to do with it, but when it's open and they realize there's stuff in there, I guess, they think, oh, now that I know there's stuff in there, I can just peck it open and it's all mine. I had to pull it away from that thing, and the rubbish went everywhere, so sick. So I was 3 hours into my shift, and I went on my 45-minute break. It was good. It was a good break. The day was looking up, okay? Takeshi's Castle was playing in the break room. It was a good time, and then 10:15 came around, and it was time for me to go and get back to work. What happens at 10:30 in McDonald's, you ask? They stop serving the breakfast, which means some lucky chap has to do the dive. And do the dive means doing the washing up, but you know, I'd never done that. That is a big task. Do you know how much they think about McDonald's, right? They're serving breakfast for 5 hours, I believe, to a lot of people, probably thousands of people, and it's up to one person to wash it up. But I'd been there for a few weeks, I'd never done it, so I thought I'd be fine. But I didn't get to my chicken station yet, which is what I was good at, cooking the chicken. I was still washing my hand because the burn was that painful. I had to go back to the sink and wash my hand, and what do you know? Wrong place, wrong time, once again. Matt Barrett, can you go do the dive, please? Sick. Yeah, sure, why not? But as you can imagine, a lot of people in McDonald's, they don't take too much pride in their work. They'll sort of half-ass the task. And if you're not really washing anything properly, you're just sort of spraying it, throwing it away, you can get the job done fairly quickly. That's not me. I was washing up everything thoroughly. Which meant that the manager, in fact the same manager who checked for my belt a bit inappropriately, kept complaining that I was doing it too slow. But come on, I was doing it thoroughly and making sure these things were actually clean. They were so clean, and no one had done it that thoroughly before. I just know it. Knowing the people that worked there and the way they worked, no one did it the way I did it. I was only a few weeks into the job. You know, when you first get a job, you want to impress. I was still at that stage, and I was doing it very, very well. One manager called Zoe, who was nice, she appreciated how well I was doing. She didn't get on my back for the speed, but yeah, 4 hours later, it's 3:15. I think I did a 6:30 till 3 p.m. shift, and because I was doing it so thoroughly, water was flying about everywhere, I wasn't really, you know, complaining too much, and my shoes got absolutely wrecked. They were destroyed, and I couldn't wear them to work the next day. I couldn't wear them at all. So I burnt myself twice. I spent hours picking up rubbish and chasing after seagulls, and there was a lot of stuff in that bag that was not on the menu, that's for sure. And then I spent hours and hours doing washing up. Not to mention, one of the sausage trays actually crushed my finger, and it was bleeding while I was doing the washing up. It was just awful. It was so bad, and all of this I did on the very modest £6 hourly rate. But my shoes were so destroyed, I spent all of the money I earned that day. I'm pretty sure it was all of the money I earned that day on a new pair of shoes. So had I not gone to work that morning, I would have still had my same pair of shoes that I could wear to work for the normal jobs that I do, no burns on my fingers, and I wouldn't just be in pain all over. And I'd have the same amount of money, because all the money I earned doing this was spent so I could do more work later on. That was the worst day, and I will always remember that day. It was not good. Fast forward a few months, I'm currently at 66,000 subscribers, and I'm about to have my final day at McDonald's, and oh my goodness, when the final shift ended, all of the bad that I experienced at McDonald's, I'm glad I had, because it made that final day that much sweeter. And I mean, all the money I earned from McDonald's, it was 6 months, and I think I earned somewhere between £3,000 and £4,000, which is That's just horrible. That's not a lot of money at all. I spent all that money on Rocket League whilst I was at McDonald's growing my channel to the 66,000 subscribers, which was a risky investment, some could say, but it definitely paid off because here we are. One of the managers was like, so what's your big boy job then? And I was like, I'm going to become a YouTuber. I'm going to make videos. And then one manager, he was like a newer manager, came from another branch called Stuart. No one liked Stuart, but he decided to put his beak in. I didn't really know him. He was like, oh, so you don't have a job then? You're just playing video games. I'm like, listen, Stuart, you're sat there in the manager's office on your phone doing nothing. You don't do anything either. But hey, sucks to be him. Stuart might still be there. I'm not. And that feeling of walking out the door, handing in the majority of my uniform, some of it was still at home, hence the thumbnail, going to my bike and cycling home, having the wind rush through my face. Like, I was obviously tired from the day, but the adrenaline was unreal. Oh my goodness. So thankful. And it's all because of you guys, and it's why I'm still doing it to this day. And I'd like to finish this video. Yes, it's the truth and the story about my old job, but without you guys, arguably, I wouldn't have been able to leave. Obviously, I wouldn't still be working at McDonald's to this day. I would have been going to university. My life would have been so different. So different. It's not just my work that would have changed had I not left McDonald's at that time because of you guys. Everything about my life would have been different, so thank you. That is going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe today to join the Pixel Army. I've been Pixel, you've been awesome, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.
I am a beast, I'm at the top, I run these beats, I hold my spot, so stop before it hits you, it's pick up, pixel.